Yeah, good afternoon, man. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to speak on a very vibrant topic nowadays. This topic is a little technical. I would like to I will try to make it palatable. So in a normal words, generally we will be talking. But otherwise, this is a very highly technical topic, and there are a lot of jargons being used in this. But I would be talking only on the normal terms, and so that it goes across to the viewers. Yeah, viewers, this topic is on the recent techniques for breeding dairy animals, and this is important because of the reason we will discuss. Why? Because we are discussing this thing. There is a very valid reason to take this topic. Let us have some preamble. What is the reason of understanding or talking on this subject? One that we have got in the country, we are the top milk producer in the world. And that is not from today, that is from last 26 years. We have been top in the world in milk production. But when we come to the per animal, per lactation milk production, we are very poor in that. And Government of India understood this. And they have realized that unless we revive this, unless we change this position, we are at 15th position in the world. While we are in milk production, we are on the top first position. So per animal lactation, per animal per day or per animal per lactation is very low. While in US it is above 10,000 liters per lactation in 305 days. In 305 days, 10,000 liter, you can calculate per day, one cow single on an average. This is average. One cow is giving how much liter of milk per day. And look at the India, 1318. We are at 15th position. And if you see, USA is on top, Japan is the second, UK is the third, Canada is the fourth, and Argentina is the fifth position. We are at 15th position. So that is the main reason, and it can only be done through the breeding of the cows. This is the per animal per day milk production in India. So look at the position. We have got varieties of cows. It could be exotic cow, crossbred cows, indigenous buffaloes, nondescript buffaloes, Indian cows, nondescript cows. So look at the Indian cow. We are having only hardly 3 liter on an average milk production, and nondescript is further low. So to improve this, the breeding is the only way, and that is why the Rashtriya Gokul Mission, under the scheme of breed multiplication scheme, they are pressing upon using the improved technique, the latest technique to breed these animals at the farm. Why our productivity is so low? The one reason is about 99 million out of 305 million, 99 million animals, females, remain unbred. They are not inseminated at all. So if 99 million animals are just counted in the counting, but they are not bred, they are not calving, they are not giving milk. So obviously that once the denominator becomes very high, the per animal production becomes low. So that is one of the reasons. The second reasons, many reasons we have given here, that you just see this is the position, and this we have discussed in India's major milk production, but that is the problem. The maximum milk is produced by the small and marginal farmer. They are having less than 1 acre or 1 to 2 acre. So these are holding about 70% of the animal of the country. So they do not have those resources to feed them so much or keep the high yielding animal, so that they have to feed that much and they have to dispose the milk that much to the right price. So that is the problem in India, and that is the major reason that why we are lowest in per lactation milk. Shortage of semen is another way. 99 million females remain unbred. They are not receiving semen, so they are not getting pregnant. So there is no calving. So like this, substandard semen is also semen quality in India, which is produced generally at the state semen stations in every state. They are not meeting the standards. The best semen is produced in the central farm in Hesargata, Bangalore, and in NDDB farms at Bidej, SAG Bidej, and in Ahmedabad. So they have got, these are the three stations where you get the best quality of the semen, while the other all qualities through which all government veterinarians are using those semen, so they are not good quality. Obviously, the good quality is not there, so the conception rate will be low, production will not be so high. So non-heat, there are a lot of animals due to mineral deficiency. Without feeding the minerals, they will not come into the heat. Once they will not come into the heat, their genitalia will not open to receive the semen, and then they will not show any sign of the heat. So no breeding and no calving, again no milk. So poor genital status, because we are not the farmers, 70% farmers, 70% animals are held by the poor farmers, the landless, marginal, and small farmers. So they are not able to feed them properly. So the genital organs are developed properly, so that it is ready for the early puberty, ready for the accepting the semen and becoming pregnant. Sometimes placenta, after the delivery, placenta is not cleared, and placenta is the bag where the baby is covered in the womb. So after baby comes out, the placenta should come out always. But sometimes due to infection in the uterus or due to the manhandling, due to the bad handling, the placenta remain in the uterus, and that creates the infection in the uterus. Animal will not come in heat, and obviously not being pregnant, obviously remain unbred, no milk. Repeat breeder, they become repeat breeder. They will show the heat sign, but they will not accept the semen to become pregnant. So these are the major reasons why we are low in the productivity per animal. Otherwise, production in India is on top in the world. We share about 22 to 23% milk of the world is from India. So poor treatment of heifers in India. Indian farmers have done PhD. This is a statement I am making. All farmers should excuse me. This is my experience of 42 years in dairy. All farmers have done PhD in spoiling heifers. They will never bother about the animal unless the animal is pregnant. Before pregnancy, they don't know unless the genitalia develop, unless the heifer develop that much muscle, that much growth in the body, it cannot hold a better baby, a normal baby, and it cannot come into heat early. Puberty will be delayed, intercalving period will be delayed, conception rate will be delayed. So all these things are affected due to the poor treatment to the heifers, and our country is never treating the heifers in a good way. Only they know if the animal is giving milk, they are feeding properly, or whatever they have, not properly. All feedings are not properly, generally not properly, not balanced. But anyway, whatever they are feeding to the milking animals, heifers, calves, they are not into their list. So this is the reason of being less productive animal in our country. Poor feeding, and the dry pregnant animals. There are dry pregnant animals. The animal stops milking, giving milk once it comes to the late pregnancy. And the late pregnancy has to be dealt that there is a baby inside the animal, and they have to really they have to show that much empathy to the animal, that it is carrying the baby, it needs that much food. So those things are problem. that we are not able to. Okay, so why breeding? Why at all breeding is done? And why this topic? We were talking about why this topic. This is a requirement under Rashtriya Gokul Mission, under breed multiplication scheme, that the animals have to have high producing animal, number one. Number two, that in 75 years we have done so many other schemes, Operation Flood 1, Operation Flood 2, NDP 1, NDP 2, and so many other government projects at the state level, central level. Despite that, we could not improve the per lactation yield. The high yielding animals are not, actually India is not known for the high yielding animals. So to rectify that, the Rashtriya Gokul Mission has taken out that they will be going for the crossbreeding, or they will be using only the sex semen. They will be using the indigenous breeds bred with the sex semen, bred with the embryo transfer. Up now, sex semen embryo transfer is what we will discuss in detail. So RGM has got a lot of leverages towards the rearing animals using this kind of technology of breeding. So these are the reasons why RGM is giving so much of subsidy on that, like 5,000 per animal IVF pregnancy. If the animal becomes pregnant through the IVF, that farmer is going to get 5,000 rupees per pregnancy. So then 50% cost of the sex semen has been subsidized. 50% subsidy for establishing the breed multiplication scheme, that you people know that there is a breed multiplication scheme where the subsidy is about 2 CR and total project cost is about 4 CR or above. So now this is the reason that what was the old system and why this new system and the ultra system. Why this kind of change? Earlier the breeding was actually in the early days. Early days, you can say about 50 years ago, hardly anybody was bothering about the breeding the animals. They will just go for grazing and bulls will be there and they will be served naturally. And they become, become pregnant. If they become pregnant, there's nobody going to check that whether they are pregnant or not. They will deliver the calf. After some time, their belly will up. And they will come to know, yes, fine, these are the animals, right? So the animal delivers, and whatever delivers, nobody knows who made the pregnant, what was the bull, what was its genetic material, how much was its mother's yield, and how upgraded bull was. Is it a pedigree bull? It was not. It was just roaming bull on the road. So as we find today also the roaming bull on the road, because the male calves are being left on the road, because farmer cannot keep them, because they are not for the draught purpose, and they will eat. And who will build the feeding cost of these male calves? So finally they land to the road or somewhere the common places, and they become bull by just grazing here and there. So obviously they are not the good to breed the animals. Obviously their offspring, their kids, their babies, their calves will not have high genetic potential. So this is obvious. And that is the reason it was going since beginning. This is our past. And what are the problem? Why we left this thing and we went for the artificial insemination, not to the natural insemination? The artificial insemination restricts all those things. Here, in natural service, the venereal disease, the diseases of genitalia are transmitted from animal to animal, because the bull is same and it is breeding with several females. So obviously, if the bull has got some genital disease, obviously it is spreading in all the cows. So it is also spreading the genetic disease. If the bull was not reared properly and it has got some genetic defect, those defects will be transferred to the babies also. Nobody bothers about all this earlier. Now people have become aware about the artificial insemination in place of natural insemination. We'll talk. Even today also, the natural insemination is being preferred in northern India. In many of the places, people rear the bulls and they breed their animals naturally. They don't know there is a problem because bull has to be tested whether it has got any genetic disease in the blood. If the bull blood is tested for the genetic disease and it is found correct, then only it should be used. So when we are going for the artificial insemination, we are using all high graded bulls that we will discuss next. So this is the problem. One is the disease, one is the genetic disease, which you don't find, but it will come in the baby. If the bull was brucella positive, which causes abortion in the animals, so that also will be transmitted to from all the cows, one cow to other cow to other cow, like so. Similarly, genetic property, nobody knows about these bulls which are roaming on the road. No security, and no PD. Pregnancy diagnosis, nobody does. Because the bull has served the cow, it will become pregnant, it has become pregnant or not, nobody knows. So that kind of thing is was going on in India, but now there is a lot of improvement in that. So let's go to the next one. That what are the heat signs? This is the one of the reason, biggest reason in the field, in the farm, that animals are not detected their signs. So the semen is not put at the right time, right place. So the animal will not become pregnant. Then it will go for another 21 days. Every 21 days, animal comes, cow or buffalo comes into heat. It shows the sign of heat, the cycle. It is called the estrus cycle. It is in the bovines 21 days. If it is a heifer, it may come 1 day earlier. First heat comes 1 day earlier. But in case of cows, which are already calved, cows, buffaloes, so it will come every 21 days. So farmer knows the last time heat when it came, but they will not keep record for the next heat. So the next heat will be missed. Once the heat is missed, whatever insemination you do, it is not going to accept it. And then it will not become pregnant. So you have to wait for 21 days. The animal will simply eat. They will not give milk. So you have to understand that the heat detection is most important. These are the signs. Let us not go into that. This also I will skip. This is the estrus cycle, how the cycle of 21 days. This is inside picture. What happens in cows inside body when this 21 days cycle is going on. This is a heat period. Heat period comes generally for 48 hours. So the first heat is called preheat, then middle heat, and then late heat. So first heat is generally 8 hours that we have to avoid for insemination, because if you do the insemination, by the time ova comes, the semen would have died. So there is no point putting the semen when the ova is not come. Ova comes about 10 to 12 hours after the heat is finished. So after heat is finishing, after 36 hours or 40 hours, heat is finishing. So you have to inseminate. Suppose the animal has come in the morning. So you inseminate after 8 hours, that comes to in the evening. But the best insemination will be if animal has come today 8 hours in the morning, tomorrow 8 hours if you inseminate, sure shot there will be pregnancy. But that is not followed because the start of heat is not known to the farm. They don't know when the heat was started. They just see that, yes, heat has come. Had they kept the data on laptop that this animal came on 1st of November, so on 21st of November, again it will come in the heat. So they would know the when heat is coming. But that is not a practice in India. And generally in the field, it is not the practice. Only the farms are keeping this practice. So this is the problem. The sperm is either put earlier, the semen is dropped into the body of the cow earlier, or much later. Heat has already passed and then you are dropping. So sometimes it is a chance that animal getting pregnant. This is the reason that why we are very low into per animal productivity. These are the signs an animal will accept the other animal standing nearby. They would like to be, cozy with the animal. They would like to, dash with the animal, female dashing together. So it is a kind of sign that shows that animal is in heat. Out of these two, one animal is in heat. Now you have to decide which one is in the heat. Those signs we were talking about that we will discuss now. So this is the picture showing that the heat period, the first heat we have to avoid. Second heat also we have to avoid at least 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. So between the mid heat and last heat, this is the best time to inseminate the animals. This is the best time for artificial insemination. If it is natural insemination, the best time is the mid heat. Okay. Now let's go to the next slide. So these are the what is the ETT? We have been here till here. We have been talking about artificial insemination. So what is artificial insemination? That also we should understand. We'll come to the second slide. So, but here one line I have given over here. Kindly see that the bulls are well built, well developed, well fed, disease free, progeny tested. Pedigree bulls are only used for the semen production, and this semen is used instead of natural service. Natural bull semen is being dropped in the uterus. Here, this best semen possible is dropped in the uterus of the cow. So then the offspring, the kid you can expect, the better one. Now, what is the ETT? Everybody talk about the ETT. ETT is the embryo transfer technology. So what is the embryo transfer technology? We'll discuss a little bit on that. Here, there is a high pedigree bull semen used. There is a high genetic potential cow ova used. So look at that. There are two words used in the ETT. One is donor, one is recipient. What is donor? Donor is the one which donates ova. Ova comes from the ovary. So donor is the donor of the ovary. Ova means eggs. In normal word, it is an egg from the cow. So it is being generated in the donor's ovary. Okay. What is recipient? Recipient is a different cow. It is not giving the ova. It is a body. It is a uterus. It is a womb which will be hired to put this baby in the womb. Neither the ova is of this recipient, and nor the semen is of any of the bulls. As we have been discussing in artificial insemination, the semen is of a very high graded bull. Here, the semen is of a very high graded bull used. Then a donor is decided. Donor is medicated to initiate its ovulation, so that it starts shedding the ova. The ovas are, we know that after how many hours of the medication, the ova will come. Accordingly, the semen is used in that donor. Donor gets semen, receives the semen, and allows the ova to become fertilized. The moment ova become fertilized, then we know that after how many time this ova will be fertilized for the multicell. The fertilization of ova with the sperm is called zygote. That zygote becomes multicell, and then multicell goes on multiplying. Once it becomes polycellular, it becomes embryo. Because it is a fertilized one, it will develop into a baby. So we have to wait at certain level, and then the laboratory people will take out this ova, fertilized ova, and also some of the new ova coming into the ovary, that also they will harvest. Now they will treat these two things differently. They will examine in the laboratory which ova is already fertilized. That is called embryo. And which ova is not fertilized, they will fertilize this ova in the laboratory with the semen, giving the same position what it would have been fertilized in the uterus, right? So these are the two things. One was fertilized inside the body of the donor. The second was fertilized in the laboratory. So the first, which was fertilized in the body of the uterus, donor, that is called the embryo. And one which we have developed in the laboratory, that is also called the embryo, but that is the in vitro fertilization. There are two words used in this, in vivo and in vitro. In vivo is in the body. In vitro is outside body. So here two type of thing I have described. One, that one ova comes from there, where the sperm has already fertilized the ova, that is zygote. It is becoming embryo, and we are washing it out. We flush it out the uterus, and we get this ova, which is fertilized and non-fertilized. So laboratory, we can differentiate which one is fertilized, which one is not fertilized. So then we decide the which one is fertilized directly goes for the embryo preservation. And which is not fertilized will be fertilized, and then it will go for the embryo preservation. Now thereafter the process is same. There will be a recipient cow. Suppose a farm has got 10 cows. So the gentleman will go, the farmer will go definitely to the embryo center, and they will buy 10 embryos. And they will request the veterinarian to put this embryo in all the 10 cows. So you know what will happen? All the 10 cows will develop pregnancy at the same time. This embryo will attach to the uterus after 9 months, after 10 months. If it is a buffalo, 10 months, 10 days. If it is a cow, it is 9 months, 9 days. This embryo will develop a baby, and it will come out through parturition. So this parturition, which we will call delivery in human being, is a parturition in animal. So this parturated thing is called either from the ETT or from the IVF. ETT, if the ova used which was fertilized inside the body of the donor. And IVF, it is the ova used which was fertilized in the laboratory. And nowadays, our country is rich in the ovary, this ova, and this zygote, this embryo. There are a lot of embryo labs, and you can buy many, not once. There are n number of embryo labs in the country, and these are available. Farmers have to buy that and put into their cows. Their cow need not to be inseminated at all, because they don't want, their ova is not going to be used. It is all useless for the farmer. Already ready-made embryo is being put into the uterus, which will develop into the baby. So that is called ETT, embryo transfer technology. And if it is from the laboratory, it is called the IVF technology. Now, what is the AI with SSS? Everybody is talking about sort semen, sex-sorted semen. This is a unique thing has come in our country, and now we are boss in this. I mean, we are the highest manufacturer of sex-sorted semen. What is this? In human being also, in animal also, two type of chromosomes are found. These are called the genetic chromosome, X chromosome and Y chromosome. These are the chromosomes which carry our character to our baby. Similarly, a cow's character will go to the calf with these two X and Y chromosomes. Now, the theory says that if the composition which was at the time of fertilization was made by XX chromosome, like When the semen goes, there are X chromosome and Y chromosome. Both are going in the semen. So, and cow side, it is coming X. So, if the fertilization are done by the X chromosome, so then that is going to be a baby, a girl, a heifer, a female cow. In case of Y getting fertilized, the ovum is already having X, and now Y is going to fertilize. So XY becomes the male cow. So this is the theory in this. How it is done. The Y leg, the Y chromosome is much bigger than the X chromosome. So the scientists have developed a technology. They will separate the Y chromosome and they will use only X chromosome. Now suppose the X chromosome is only being used, the semen with X chromosome is being used, it will go and fertilize the X ova. So then the baby will be XX, means the baby will be female. So that is called sex sorted. What we have done here is Y sex chromosome has been removed from here, and we have kept only the X chromosome. So then, unlike in the human being, people are running about the male baby. In cattle and buffaloes, we run about the female baby, right? This is a beautiful picture. I would like to show here and try to show that how it is. If I can move this thing, yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I could do this. Okay, fine. Great. So look at this. This is sex-sorted semen. How it works and how miraculously it increases the animal production. I'll be using 5 minutes more. Right. Just go ahead. This is a bull mother. Bull's mother was having 6,000 liter production capacity. It is a genetic factor. Let us understand that capacity. Similarly, this bull father was having a capacity of 6,000 milk production. Father not. Father's mother has given us the genetic potential of 6,000. Both are having bull's mother and bull's father had given 6. So the baby has come with the 6,000 milk production capacity. This is a bull. Now we have sorted the semen. What we did, we have sorted the semen, taken out the Y chromosome. And now we have taken the cow, which is having the mother side 1,000 and father side 3,000. The bull was having 3,000 capacity, genomic, and mother is having 1,000. So the cow is having inherent capacity of 2,000 production. Now we are mating with 6,000 semen with 2,000. Look at that, what happens here? Half of this and half of this is coming. Half of this and half of this. Half of this coming means how much it is? 4,000. 3,000 from here, 1,000 from here, 4,000. So this baby, if it is a female calf, this one, female calf is going to have 4,000 liter milk production capacity. In one lactation. We measure it with the lactation, right? This is going to become cow. And this cow is now giving a calf. And this calf is again, this cow is being met, fertilized with the semen of the bull of this 6,000. What will happen? 3,000 will come here and 2,000 will come here. Look at the first generation, it improved from 2,000 here, from 2,000 to 4,000. In second generation, it is going to the 5,000. So see, every year, 1,000 liter milk is jumping in one lactation. And this is called the artificial insemination. Once we use the sex-sorted semen, SSS, so what is the benefit in the sex-sorted semen? This is also a kind of AI, not very difficult, very simple. Because only semen, you will not understand which semen has been put. It is sex semen or it is normal semen. If it is a sex semen, there is a chance of 90% female and 10% male. So what happened? This 90%, this 90% is becoming cow in the farm, and everybody will be happy because males are to be, not to be used because there is no other way. So to reduce the number of males. So this was a technology taken out that it will use and reduce the male calves. You will be getting maximum female calves, and genetic material will jump every calving. So this is here just see 50% genomes comes to the calf from mother and father, right? This is what we have seen. Now come to the next slide. Next slide. ETT. ETT, as we have discussed, the ovum comes from the donor, sperm from the bull, and becomes the zygote, fertilized. Zygote divides into become embryo. Embryo is preserved in the lab, in the medium, and whenever it is required, it is transferred to the recipient cow. It is called the surrogate mother, right? We have discussed. Here, the farm animal is donor or recipient. Either the farm animal could be donor. If it is a very high yielding animal, you can make it donor, or it is just a recipient. If it is not a high yielding animal, you can just put the high yielding embryo, and that calf will come from those parents, not from the baby which has been carried by this recipient, right? So IVF, we have already talked about the cattle. The oocytes are removed from the cow in vivo. In vivo means in the body, we remove it. And then twice in a week, we do this process twice in a week. Then they are recovered. Oocytes are subject to the in vitro maturation. It goes to the laboratory, gets matured. After maturing means multicellular. You can't see it by eye. It is only through the microscope you can see. Then developed embryos. It is developed to the blastocyte. Blastocyte is a multicellular state. And then I will show you the picture also. And then it is transferred to the recipient. So since it is developed in the laboratory, it is called in vitro fertilization. ETT, how ETT is going to help? See, imagine a miracle. See, again 6,000 and 9,000 parents we have taken, and embryo has 7,500. Now surrogate mother has got the capacity of only 3,000. This embryo has gone there, developed in the surrogate mother. Surrogate mother is not going to contribute in the milk production trade, not at all. So male calf is born, female calf is born. This female calf will have a capacity of production of 7,500 liters. So this is what is the beauty. It is not taking anything from the surrogate mother and directly taking from the parents of the embryo. So because this embryo was put into the uterus, the cow has only done that, reared the nurtured the baby. That's all. Okay. Its character will not come into this. Character is coming of the parent of the embryo. And see, it is 7,500. Then this cow becomes here. This calf becomes a cow. So what will happen? This calf will have a 7,000 female calf round. It is 7,500. Now just check it. 7,500. Suppose this cow is having 7,500. This embryo, okay. This cow is having some capacity, 4,000. Now again this embryo is put into this. So you will see that it is jumping to 5,000 again. So generally what I wanted to show in ET is surrogate mother contributes 0, nothing. Here it has to be 7,500, this figure. And 7,500 will again met with the 7,500 if you want to go for the SS, sex semen. If you are going to drop the embryo over here, only the 7,500 will be transmitted, not this 4,000. So there is some mistake in this. So, okay, how does it look like through microscope? From open eye, you can't see. First of all, a picture shows that where to drop the semen. So this is the uterus of cow. And these are the ovaries of the cow. So you have to drop with the AI gun, you have to drop the semen directly in the uterus. That is the beauty. If you are dropping anywhere else, if you are dropping here or here or here, animal is not going to be pregnant. You have to drop it here. And then animal, the semen is into the uterus. Now inside uterus, what is happening? Look at it. A ovum has come, and many of the millions of sperm goes to the fertilizing the ovum. And then this is the position, fertilization. The ovum, the sperm is entering the ovum. And finally, this is the zygote, 2 cell. This is 2 cell structure. So this is 1 cell structure. This is 2 cell structure, 4 cell structure, 8 cell structure, like that. At this stage, when it becomes multicellular, multicellular, at this stage, we transfer it to the recipient mother. And this is the process, how it will be looking like through the, in the Petri dishes. So this, I just showed like that what is the picture. And now your question, please. You can ask the question.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Shrivastava, for the detailed presentation. Now I'll take up some questions. Okay.
Yeah.
What are the latest advancements in genetic selection for dairy cattle, and how can it benefit small-scale farmers?
Yeah, small-scale farmer, it will not benefit much because only SSS can benefit. There are 2 techniques we have discussed 3 techniques. One is SSS, sex sorted semen. We have discussed ETT. We have discussed about embryo transfer through IVF. So the SSS is just an AI. If that person takes the SSS, at least he is going to be benefited. The poor chap, the poor farmer, 1 animal farmer, 2 animal farmer is going to be assured that baby is going to be female. 90% possibility of the female and only 10% possibility of the male. So that is a direct benefit. Every farmer wants that my cow should give a female cow. So that is the benefit. So this is how these technologies are helping to the dairy farm. Yes, madam. Next.
Okay. Can you explain how genomic testing has improved the accuracy of identifying superior dairy traits in breeding programs?
That is a very good question. We did not cover this. We have not covered this, but I will explain that. See, there is as I discussed about X chromosome and Y chromosome. These are the genetic chromosomes which carry our character to our babies. So this X chromosome and Y chromosome, if they are together, if the embryo is of X and Y, it is going to develop into male. If the embryos are X and X, it is going to develop into a female baby. This is the process. Okay. Your question is that how the traits, how the science has developed, which has benefited the breeding policy and breeding system. Yes, it has developed. Now we can test the blood of the bull from where the semen is coming. Now we can test the animals, females, cow of the farm, and we can check the genetic problem in the chromosome level, and we can eliminate those animals. Bulls. Bull testing is most important here because one bull is going to give the semen and going to make the pregnant of at least 10,000 to maybe 20,000 cows. So if the bull is a defective, having some genetic defect, so it is going to be transmitted to 10,000, 20,000 cows. So that is the reason the bull testing is most important in case of the breeding. Now you say that even the females are also having some kind of genetic problems in the blood, and it can be detected through the blood. But here in the breeding, generally we talk of the chromosome study of the bull, male calf. Yes, madam. Male calf, if we can bull, so suppose the calf is only 1 month. and if you are testing the blood, right? So you will know that this calf is having a genetic disease. So you will not make him a bull, no, for the breeding. So all expenditure is saved. So institution which is going to save that bull, make that calf into bull, and later on use its semen for fertilization and breeding, at least they will be saved of that much expenditure. So this is the benefit. And plus, slowly and slowly, we are eliminating any kind of genetic diseases or congenital diseases, which we call in the animals. Yes, ma'am. Next question.
Okay. Yeah. And why should we breed the animals? Why not leave them for natural breeding?
Yeah, that I explained in the first thing only. My first slide was that only. That what happened. It's so much of problem now. Yeah. See, if the natural breeding means one thing that you don't know, if it is a proven bull, good. That answer is given. That I know its genetic potential. Otherwise, you don't know genetic potential. What bull it is, how much its mother was giving bull milk. So how much it is having capacity to produce the milk. So why should I use that? In AI, you know the bull. You know the name of the bull. In the dose, whatever used for the semen, as a semen, for fertilization, for insemination, every branding is there. Bull code, bull number, from where the semen has been produced. It is its mother was, what was the yield, how much is the progeny testing. Every detail is there on that straw. People throw the straw. Farmer never reads that. Even intelligent people I have seen read. Even those who are masters in the breeding, they also don't bother about it. But it is given from the semen station side. They give all the details. If you go on the site, go and log on to the semen station, put that bull number, you will get all the details. It is not present in the natural bull, natural survey. And if you do the natural survey from the good bulls, then you are, how many cows will be served? In a month, hardly 10 to 15. And if it is AI, in a month, you can serve 10,000 cows. So 10 to 15 cows by natural and 10,000 cows by the semen, AI. So that is why the natural service should not be practiced. Artificial insemination. The reason is, madam, when the bull deposits semen into the uterus, into the cow, it deposits in the volume. I mean, it will be about 3 to 4, 4 ml to 10 ml. The bull can deposit the semen into the genitalia of cow. But in case of the AI, what we collect, this is the same 10 ml we collect, and we dilute it and make millions of doses from one ejaculate. So just imagine how much multiplication we are doing, because cow for insemination require bare minimum number of the sperms that is decided. So in the AI, artificial insemination, the lab state, the semen stations, they keep that much number only, so that the cow is inseminated also, and the balance is used for other thousands of cows. So this is the benefit in the artificial insemination, and natural service has got these are the problem. Besides the diseases, the one bull is, suppose in a farm, 50 animals are there and one bull is there. That one bull is serving all the 50 animals. If the bull is having some disease, all the 50 animals with genitalia will be infected. So this is the problem in natural. It should go to the artificial insemination. Yes, ma'am. Next question.
Okay. And are there new reproductive technologies that farmers can leverage for improved breeding outcomes in dairy herds?
There are many, madam, but depends on the money. I have not discussed about the cost. Let us talk on that. Good question. if you are going to do AI, natural service, if you are going to do, then the bull rearer, those who are rearing the bull, people take their animal when they come in the heat, they go to the bull rearer and he charges about 200, 300, 500 rupees or whatever. Nowadays, I don't know whether they are charging 1,000 rupees per service. Now here one AI dose is costing how much? It will be costing about 500 rupees, not more than that. Now come to the sex semen. It is costing 1,500 rupees. Now come to the embryo. It is costing 30,000. So this is the difference. Now farmers have to decide. If I want only female calf, go for the sex semen and pay 1,500 rupees and get sure shot female calf and enjoy with the cow. That female calf will become cow. Provided you feed it. Heifer, they don't feed. They will wait for the heifer to become bigger, come in heat. The heifer, if you would have fed properly, it would have come in heat. Suppose after 2 years, it will come after 4 years. So 4-year feeding is accepted by the farmer, but they will not feed properly so that it comes in the heat in the 2 years. 2 years means, and 4 years means 2 calf you have lost. By saving feeding to the heifer, 2 calf you lost. And had it been the SSS, sex sorted semen, 2 female cows you have lost. Nobody understands, madam. This is the methodology and this is the economy, what I am talking. And if somebody is having power, they have money. So why to use this cow, which is giving only 5 liters of milk? Use that cow, which is giving 30 liters of milk. Use that embryo. And use this cow as a recipient cow, surrogate mother. Don't use the character of this cow. So what you are going to do, you are going to a baby which is going to produce 30 liters, no? So why not to do that if we have money? So if you are spending 30,000 rupees, maybe on medication, etc., total maybe 40,000 rupees for one insemination, one embryo transfer. So that 40,000 rupees is going to give you 100% a baby, female baby, which is going to develop as a cow, which will give 30 liter milk per day. And it is not only, in air. I have seen with my own eyes in UK and America when I went. And I went to the farm, I saw animal giving 30 liter of milk, 3 times milking. Every time 10 liter, 10 liter, 10 liter. So that can be done in India also. Same HF cow, no other cow, same HF cow. I had the photograph. Last time I showed some of the photographs. But anyway, point is, if you are not having money, at least go for sex semen. To avoid the male cow, you are getting the female baby and that becomes a cow. Feed them. Make them early pregnant. Save your calves. Right? That become a good cow. If you are having a wealthy person, you have multiple animals, use many of them as a recipient. No need to use their ovary. No need, not at all. Let the ova come and go. You take the embryo from outside and put it to that. And then whatever the calf comes, female calf, that becomes the cow. Then you get that much milk, no? So this is the way of improving the per lactation milk yield in India. And that is why government has breed multiplication scheme will have to use either sex semen or just this embryo transfer. Nothing else. No normal AI. Natural, there is no question. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how do precision nutrition techniques contribute to better reproductive performance in dairy animals?
Contributing. That is only contributing. I am telling to feed the calves, feed the babies, feed the heifers. so that it becomes adult with a better genitalia, so that it can hold better baby. That farmer don't understand. But farms, the breed multiplication farm has been restricted to use this much on feeding. If they are not feeding that much, if the calf growth is not that much, heifer growth is not that much, they are going to be asked question by NDDB, why you have not done. So there is someone now going to ask about in breed multiplication scheme. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is the difference between SSS and ETT? Which one is easy and cheap?
That we have discussed. No, SSS is much easy, and embryo transfer is costlier, as well as it success rate is also not that much. But SSS is just an AI. It is just an AI. Only thing you have to be very precise about the heat timing. I showed you no heat timing, that when to inseminate. This is the when to inseminate. This is the best time. If the heat has come 8 o'clock in the morning, next day 8 o'clock to evening 8 o'clock, we have to inseminate by the SSS, sex sorted semen, and you get sure sort female baby. What more you want? And easy. There is no hi-fi technique in this. It is just an AI. Semen has changed. Technique has not changed. But the ETT is very costly, and there is a success rate is also not that much. About 50% success rate generally can be taken, but it is less than that. Less than that. But once it is taken, suppose one embryo is accepted by the cow, the recipient cow, you are going to get a calf which can produce later on 30 liters of milk. This is the difference. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you highlight any strategies for enhancing the resilience and adaptability of dairy breeds in changing climates?
Changing climates, nobody, that is also, I have been, in all my talk, I have been telling, there are only two ways to combat with that, whatever you are raising the climate change. One thing, develop, cultivate green fodder, then only keep the animal. There is no point keeping animal on the dry fodder and cattle feed. It generates lot of methane. In human also. If you eat lot of concentrate, high energy food, you may generate gas which will have lot of smell. But in case of vegetarians and in case of lot of fiber eating people, there are very less smell into the gas. So same thing in the animal. Animals are made for eating the forage. The cattle feed we have added because the milk production is very high, increasing day by day, and the cow has to be supplemented with some kind of protein and carbohydrate, and that is how we are adding it, and oil also, fat. That is cattle feed. So the best thing is green part, and the second best thing is crossbreeding. You go for crossbreeding. We have done that. So the third, which is a boon for us, which we have not done till today. Third point. Rear indigenous animals, they are already adopted on this climate. Don't take HF and Jersey. If at all you want to have the HF and Jersey, then go for the crossbreeding only, because not the pure 50-50 cross, because it will have 50% tolerance of the Indian climate. But otherwise, climate change has to be addressed with the methane production, and that is a larger kind of decision which Government of India has not signed on that, on the treaty to reduce the greenhouse gases. And the reason was that if they sign, I told you the 70% animals are in the hands of poor farmers. Then who will suffer? If the methane treaty is signed, madam, we have to curtail the methane production which is from the animals, especially bovines. So if India signs that, then obviously we will be under, all these farmers will be under suit. Then why should we do? And that's why we have avoided. And logic was very good. So that is a way, but we cannot adopt in India because India is mostly a farmer-dominated dairy part I'm talking about. Only I'm talking dairy. It is farmer-oriented, poor farmer-oriented. So you cannot have a kind of ban on keeping animal and for the greenhouse gas production. Their living space. You go and see in the villages how people are keeping the animals. They don't have the space to live for themselves. Where the animal will live. So in a very cozy, very close, very situation, they are keeping the animals. Obviously, the greenhouse is very high. So their housing, their feeding, their breeding by crossbreeding, taking indigenous animal, feeding by green grass, and housing, air ventilated houses. Hardly will find in the villages. You go and see. 2 animals are there, and 1 animal can't stand in the place they have tied. At least in the night time, they tie in that area. Whole night, the animal is suffocating and emitting the methane. So we have to look into that. Climate change is on our head. We are seeing that. But I don't know. We don't have much answer on it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will take up the last question. What considerations should farmers keep in mind when adopting new breeding technologies for their dairy herds?
What? Repeat once. The beginning.
One second.
What?
Yeah. What considerations should farmers keep in mind when adopting new breeding technologies for their dairy herds?
Yes. Are, this is also a very good question. So, I don't know. Whosoever has given you a question, very good question. You want to produce 12 liter, 30 liter, 20 liter milk from a cow, but you don't want to feed them. You want to feed only whatever available at home. You will not go for the testing of that what you are feeding to the animal. Is it a balanced diet? Unbalanced diet? It is some part is going more, some part is absent in the diet. They will not consider this. They only want the milk, white liquid. So animal doesn't have a treasury. The human being has got lot of places to keep money. At the time when it comes, they will take out that money and they will spend and they will do their work. Animal doesn't have any pocket. Whatever you are feeding, they will return. If you are not feeding properly, they will not return properly. So that is the main consideration the farmer has to look at. 90% of the farmers, the small and marginal farmer, they feed the animal on minimum availability of the requirement of the feed. Bare minimum. It is like you want in your food protein, carbohydrate, fat, minerals, and vitamins, fibers. Here, the farmer is eating only roti and dal, or roti and sabji, or rice and sabji, idli and sambar. That's all. So the same thing they consider that animal will also need only dry grass. Okay. Only little bit of the homemade. That is also not produced. Purchased from the market, so that it will have some composition. Whatever available at home, that they feed. So do you believe animal has a pocket that they will give the milk from their, they will add protein and fat from their side? That is the problem in India. They are not looking at that. That is the main consideration. If you are keeping animal, feed the animal properly. Okay, bye.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. So, yeah.
Done?
So we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to thank you for a detailed presentation answering all the questions in depth. And I also like to thank all the participants for joining this meeting. The meeting will now be closed.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very
You're
much.
most welcome. Thank you.